Good evening, everybody. We got here a 1v1 Arabia Classic 1v1 pro game, and let's get right into it because we're going to have a good one in here today. Fast forward a little bit as we get through the Dark Age, and we do have in the red playing as the Lithuanians, Daut, and his enemy to the south of the map is going to be MbL, and he's playing as the Poles. So two civilizations that have strong cavalry, strong economies to back up that cavalry, and we could see a pretty good interaction between the two of them as we continue. I do love right off the bat Daut's little wall of trees. I mean, what an ideal situation. Pretty much walled off already to the edge of this map, and then just a little bit here and he will be good. Does have a back gold, and he does have a back stone as well. Taking a look at MbL's map, not quite as strong of a map with that really good wood line that Daut does have, but still very close in map. So as we back out a little bit here, you can see the trees do create a little bit of a chokehold here and do create a good little wall with back gold, back berries. That should help out quite a bit. Of course, we do have the full work here being built. That is one of the unique buildings of the Poles, and that will just make their farms that much stronger. So what can we expect out of these players? Well, as I mentioned earlier, probably going to see some form of cavalry. Both of these civilizations being very good when it comes to cavalry and really strong with unique bonuses. So that might be the cheaper knights that the Poles have, or that extra little bit of attack for each relic that the Lithuanians do get later on in the game. So we will be looking at the relics. I know a lot of times in these high level games, the relics are not necessarily the main focal point and just an afterthought, but once the Lithuanians get involved, definitely going to be more of a talking point. The relics are split in the middle, but I'd say a little bit closer overall to MbL, so a little bit of an advantage to him as both players are building down their barracks, and we have both players going up to the feudal age very close to one another, and the wall-offs already starting out for both players along the front. We will be seeing stables right off the bat, and there you can see a stable going down on the front and a stable going down on the front for Daut as well. So there will be scout rushes going after one another. Eco upgrades coming into play now. Just deciding to go for the wood upgrade for Daut before he gets that mill upgrade, and now he gets that, but still no wood upgrade for the enemy of MbL. So they will do a little bit of a dance. I will slow down now as we get closer in. There is a spearman here, so that will be enough to scare away small amounts of scouts, and this wall will definitely be able to complete should the army stay here. This wall, even with that spearman, should be in a good position as well. So nothing really going on right now, just back and forth, both players walling, both players going to stay aggressive with scouts as much as possible. You never want to fall behind with military counts, but the army of Daut does go forward, and the army of MbL swoops in. This spearman does get a couple of shots, but will have to run away. Will this villager get picked off? He does run through the wall. That is a good idea, actually. Does protect that villager, saves that villager. Only one scout goes down, and a little bit of HP, or only a little bit of HP on the scouts, and one spearman goes down for Daut. So MbL already a little bit ahead and able to engage against these spearmen, but you never want to be fighting and running against spearmen because they get that other shot off as the blacksmith is going up for Daut. Both of these players will be now fully walled off. Just a little bit of an area to wall left for MbL, but Daut can swoop in, and by the time he gets here, that will be filled in. Spearmen are going to try to get as much as they can out of these engagements, but once the armies start running around and real micro starts going, really tough for these engagements to include spearmen. So the micro is just that much more important when you are on this open end of the map. And a little bit caught out there is Daut, as he does lose a spearman and doesn't really get much in return. In the meantime, the walls are finishing up, and we're looking fairly close when it comes to economy. So 32 villagers for each of these players. Both players are going to start looking for the next age, though. And so we do see there is a military advantage for MbL, but there's also a little bit more food in the bank. He's just that much closer to clicking up. Spearman's, though, down for MbL, so Daut at a bit of a better position, and good thing he double walled here, because this group of 7 scouts is going to run right in and try and get some damage when possible. In the meantime, both of these players are going to be collecting up stone, and so we will be seeing a bit of an interaction back and forth, as that's just a lion going down. And these scouts going to attack this wall, try to break through. It will be walled up behind there, but just a little bit of wasted villager time as we see the market going up for Daut. Is he going to try to buy his way up? Both of these players have the gold, but not quite the food, but very close. They're going to be very close back and forth, and Daut just slightly quicker to the next age. MbL still hasn't fought into the next age, but he has now clicked up. So MbL with 3 extra villagers, that is going to make a difference, but the biggest thing about that is, I believe, Daut did research. Yes, he did just do wheelbarrow research, so that is why he has slightly less villagers, but his villagers are going to be that much more efficient with their work. Sneaky tower going up here. We take a look. Can't be spotted by MbL as of yet, so, or it can't be spotted by Daut, this tower from MbL. So just 1 villager building it, and that ends up being worthwhile because that will be able to range this wood line. And if we do see more upgrades coming in after fletching, that'll just cause more damage on this wood line. So of course this wood line was great for the wall off at the beginning, but now not much wood in the back of Daut's base. An engagement, spearman versus spearman. The scouts trying to run and distract where possible, but it doesn't matter. Daut still has the advantage there, as he is going to be able to engage quite easily. This tower, just a great placement by MbL. What an annoying tower on this wood line that is so long and skinny, and especially, I mean, once the castle age was hit, I'm sure Daut was wanting to put a town center somewhere forward here. Both players now in the castle age, interested to see where the new town centers do go. So 1 town center on this wood line here, fairly safe town center, nothing too crazy, and a castle going down very defensively. But that's the thing about this tower, it forces Daut to play extremely defensively. So this tower will go down to the castle, but in the meantime, MbL is just going to be a nuisance. Wall in the golds where possible and try to gain whatever advantage he can. Of course, stone walls are such a pain. Even once you get some siege, it takes just a long time and a lot of HP to take these down. We'll see if MbL goes for the wall offs on these other golds as well, as we see a monastery coming up. So we're thinking of knights, but of course Latus gonna come out. Those are strong as well, and we might be looking at monasteries for both players. And there it is, Daut's now got a monastery. So both of these players gonna want to get those relics as soon as possible, because they both know how powerful these cavalry can be from the Lithuanian player. And already the latest starting to add up, starting to mass up. Bit of an advantage when it comes to the military for Daut, but MbL with a big economic lead, and that's only going to grow. He's got twice the villager production as the enemy, and he's going to try to maintain that villager production throughout this game. The latest able to engage against these spearmen quite easily. These are very strong units, and they can do quite a bit of damage against just spearmen. There's not too much that MbL can do, but Daut already breaking into houses, trying to get in, and he won't quite get in because these monks will scare him away with the conversions. Those three, if they got converted, that would turn the tides of battle, but they'll run away instead. They're safe, no problem, and the house gets repaired. Now, each player wanting to collect up as many relics as possible. Of course, Daut, great vision to see where these relics are. He hasn't spotted all of them yet, but he has spotted a couple of them. And we'll see what sort of reaction the monks from MbL have if they can engage to get this relic here. We have 4 town centers now for MbL, so he is really going for a boom, and Daut doing the exact opposite. He is very aggressive. He's going forward. He's got the stone for another castle, and he's going to build one right in front of MbL's base. So right on this hill that will protect this stone, and it is going to be just out of sight for MbL. So that is a bit of a pain point, I'm sure, for MbL. It'll be a big surprise when that comes in. This relic will be collected for sure. 1 scout cavalry is not going to be enough to fight against this many monks and spearmen, but of course we will see what comes of it after. Siege workshop's already up, and more aggression coming forward. I keep seeing the blue in the screen, and this monk comes back. So already 2 relics for the Lithuanian player. Will he get to 3 or 4 or 5 throughout this game? That is going to be the question. And he's got the latest in the back of the base, so while he doesn't have the villager lead, he is doing a lot of damage. This is exactly what Daut needs to do right now. Take out villagers. That's the beauty of these quick cavalry units. They have such strong attack, able to take out villagers no problem. Lots of conversions coming in, but was there enough for Daut on the field? Well, he will get a couple of monks. That is good to see. The cleanup does happen, but when we take a look, militarily speaking, Daut still with the lead. He does have more already in queue, and we see a mangonel and a battering ram coming out. So this is no joke, as the monk is standing next to the relic, not yet collecting it, but he will be collecting that fairly soon. So that'll be 4 relics, and then 1 relic for MbL. Now, of course, 13 plus 4 attack is nothing to is nothing to these Lithuanians. Is they're going to be able to engage against these villagers? He might even be able to deny this castle if we don't see a quick wall. Let's see what MbL can do. The castle gets denied for now. Villager's going to run into the town center. That is a nice town center. It can protect these villagers. And in the meantime, we have 2 battering rams that are going to start hitting down this castle with the mangonel behind, and another castle right on the front from Daut. This is great play from him. He is moving forward. He does not have the economic lead. He's behind by 25 villagers, just over 25 villagers. And so it's going to be tough for him to be engaging against the army the longer this goes, because the economy of MbL is just so strong. These monks able to get conversions, but unable to do too much at this point. The latest a little bit caught out there, but the villagers dive, and MbL is gonna try anything to get this castle up. Castle in the meantime from Daut does go up right on this wood line, getting a few free kills off the bat. The castle does finish for MbL, but it is going down quickly. We've got some Obuks coming to take out whatever rams there already are for Daut, and the repairs are gonna save this castle barely. As now we have seen so much damage get dealt just from this little castle coming up on the hill, and that would have been the difference, because that farming economy, that gold economy is necessary for MbL to stay alive. So now he's still in the game, and we do have the economic lead. Can he hold off long enough to fight against these +4 latest that Daut is coming in with? Battering rams are still being built by Daut. He is running everywhere in this economy. Town centers all over the place for Daut, as he has 5 town centers already on the map. And Daut, in the meantime, 1 town center. He is sticking with his boom and actually doing a very good job of keeping villager counts level. Still about 26 behind, but that villager count has stayed at that much for a long time. A conversion on one of the villagers here forward, that does help out a little bit, but the expansions are going to the west as a castle is being built on this gold here. Let's see. Daut cannot see this castle, and that castle will be very big. That buys so much map coverage if MbL can get that up, and he will get that up, definitely. In the meantime, Daut is just pushing straight down the middle with his castles. He's going to take out this town center and a lot of the farming economy. I don't know quite how I feel about this castle with the with just dropping right in front. I don't know how much more it buys, as these rams were already taking out the town centers, but it does buy a little bit of farming space. It does remove a lot of the strength of the enemy. Both players are on the way up to the Imperial Age. Both players have castles, and both players will be looking at trebuchets, but MbL in 10 seconds will be building his own trebuchets, and he will be trying his hardest to take out the enemy castles. In the meantime, Daut needs 1 minute until he can build trebuchets of his own. He will be able to build a little bit more than what the enemy can, as he does have more castles, but the thing about that is if he starts to do that, he will no longer be able to build the latest that he is building out of these castles. So he still will be able to build at home, but he's going to be dropping trebuchets here as soon as he can. Even the ram's going to need everything he can. Trebuchets are out right now for MbL. This is it. If this forward goes down, Daut has half the economy. He does not have the ability to fight back if this forward goes down. These castles need to stay up. These castles are mandatory as the wall-offs are starting. Both players trying hard to get any sort of advantage they can. We don't see the trebuchets coming out in response that we expected, but there is trebuchets queued up. They will be coming out for Daut, but this is 4 trebuchets now taking out these 3 castles. And lots of villagers going down, but still 66 villagers to 110. So while they are falling like crazy underneath these town centers and on these farms, MbL's in a position where he can be losing villagers. That is something to note. 1 castle is down, and we do have 1 trebuchet in response from the Lithuanian player. And lots of damage being done. That was about 25 villagers just taken off with that attack. This castle, though, needs to stay up. We do have 2 trebuchets, 3 now, but that's against 5. The 4th trebuchet is coming in for Daut as this castle is being repaired. Daut choosing to take out the eastern castle first. He is going to try to swoop in, take out these trebuchets if he can. He's attacking the villagers, trying to get as much damage as possible as the latest are still running through the economy of MbL. and now Daut is on the back foot. Just like that, he had the military lead. Now he is behind in military. He is behind in economy. That difference from Imperial Age, just such a crippling effect at this stage in the game. But it's not over as of yet. We do have upgrades coming in for both of these players, and we do see monks in response for both of these players. There is so much going on, whether it's the obuks, the monks, the trebuchets. These players need to be focusing on so many things, and as you can see, a few monks fell for free against that one scout, that one light cavalry, able to do so much damage. And now the last trebuchet does fall for Daut, and he is on the back foot. He needs to get a good push going soon, because he cannot handle to be losing the villagers that MbL lost just a few moments ago. We take a look at his point of view. He sees these obuks coming, and what is he going to do in response to them? Not too sure as of yet. These villagers standing around, they are standing by. They will be building some form of military building. Not sure what exactly Daut can do other than hope to build another castle, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Drop a castle on the front, another closed castle, but there is a lot of trebuchets. So those trebuchets on the field, having those 4 trebuchets is going to make a big difference. And back up to 110 population is MbL for his villager count, and Daut staying fairly consistent in the 60s. He did not build many villagers while he was pushing. He was going all in with his military, and now he does not have the same economy that the enemy does. These walls still such a pain point for Daut. He's still trying to take them down, and he's just got 1 knight on there, so it's not quite enough. But we do see conscription coming in. We do see some of the upgrades that are necessary for Daut to stay in the game. And he, mind you, he does have the very strong attack. These are no joke. 13 plus 6 attack on these cavalry units. That is so damaging, and if you're a villager, you don't stand a chance. Look at how quickly they fall, and these obuks not quite fast enough to chase down the cavalry of Daut. Even just this small number of cavalry able to hit villagers and run quicker than the obuks can catch up. So lots of more villagers are going to go down for MbL. Of course, he does have the lead. He is still sitting at 116 villagers. He's still producing villagers out of 5 town centers. Or I suppose only 3 now. He did lose so many of those town centers early on. So he is still producing out of 3 town centers. Daut, in the meantime, only producing out of 1. And so both of these players, they know each other, and they know the little maneuvers that the other person likes to do. And so they're going to try to pick apart one another. They're going to try to get any sort of advantage as possible. And these villagers are falling like crazy. Looks like the cavalry just runs by and takes them out, and that's exactly what happens. So strong as we're down to 105 villagers for MbL. We're still at 71 for Daut, so that 1 villager every time he produces, only coming out of 1 town center, is just not enough as the winged hussars push back the enemy for now. Winged hussars, of course, unique to the Poles and able to do so much damage, but against Latus it's tough. The difference being how many more you can mass if you're massing up the winged hussars. And these monks, tough to engage against the Latus. 1 gets converted, but more villagers are going to fall. Daut doing a great job raiding. But now he needs to take out this army, because this army and these trebuchets can just continue to push forward, and Daut will be out of options if they take out these 2 castles on the front of his base. This is it. The push is happening. He needs to take out the siege, and that's the beauty of these high attack Latas. They can take out so much, but he's out of stone, trying to repair where possible. The trebuchets are going down. Will it be enough? He takes out the trebuchets. He has taken out the winged hussars. The castle barely stays up, and now suddenly we have a switch in momentum. Daut has a chance. Daut can get back into this game. He doesn't have the villagers, but he has the much stronger unit. 16 plus 6 attack, 2 plus 3 defense against these winged hussars, which are only 1 plus 2 defense and 9 plus 2 attack. Big differences when we compare the two units that are going head to head. Even when we look at the HP, 50 more HP for these latest than against the winged hussar, so that is a big difference. Daut keeping this castle up just saved him the game. He's still in it, and we do see Obux still protecting back on these farms, but Daut doing such a good job throughout this entire game to raid these farms. He knows how strong the farms are for the enemy, for the Poles, and so he's going to try to be as aggressive as possible, take out as many farmers as possible, and he's at a point where he can run right underneath town centers, maybe not quite underneath the castles, but he is not caring right now. He is taking out so many villagers right here, and even the villagers that he doesn't take out, they are having to run and hide inside of castles, inside of town centers, and just move. They are not collecting, and MbL is down to 94 villagers as Daut is almost at 80. Finally, they're catching up. This is the closest in villager count that these two players have been almost the entire game, but we are now at the point where gold is going to be the scarce resource. That knight has done a great job breaking through those walls to create some sort of gold income for the player of Daut. He is doing a great job to recover from some of the big losses he had early on, and he's going to try to engage where possible. I'd love to see 1 or 2 trebuchets from him moving forward and coming out, because he needs to take out this castle and this castle. He's doing a great job raiding, but he's not there yet. More castles are coming up from MbL. So many castles in this game as we finally see the second town center. Interesting spot to throw down the second town center. 52 minutes, game time minutes into the game. And also getting the first gold mining upgrade is MbL, so that's a little bit of an interesting thing happening there. Both of these players are all over the place, raiding wherever they can, trying to get any sort of advantage they can. And these winged hussars, that's what they're for. They're made to raid. And if they can get into the base, there's nothing in the back here that can protect Daut. MbL still with a 20 villager lead. He is still able to produce just so much quicker, and his farming economy is just so strong right now. He has 77 villagers just farming. That's the equivalent of the entire economy of Daut. So that just shows how strong he is. This castle, though, good placement from Daut. He's going to put the castle down. That will protect this gold, and it will also protect these wood lines long term, which are going to become more of a problem as they move out to the sides of the map. Both players wanting to build as many castles to get their position exactly where they want it to be. That villager finally goes down. That villager's been building outposts along the way, but this is a huge army of Latus coming in, and they will be raiding. This many can take out town centers, no problem. So we'll see how quickly MbL can notice this army, dive right into this town center and take it out, and there is nothing that MbL can do. In the meantime, MbL has his forces on the front of his base. And Daut starting to raid once again. 20 villager difference 2 town centers versus 3 now. And the villagers are gonna drop like crazy. Look at this, the latest. That's the thing, they are so quick, they can run around. These obuks become so much less effective against cavalry that can outrun them. And the villager count is 1 villager difference. The economies are actually even for the first time since minute 15, minute 20. But these obuks are so strong. Once they corner the latest, they take them out very well, just especially in these high numbers. Both of these players, though, sitting at 90 and 91 villagers. They're both booming. They're both looking to gain any sort of advantage that they can. But that's a big army from MbL. So he has lost the villagers, but he's gained the army. About a 40 population difference between these 2 players. And the difference really comes from the fact that Daut is only producing out of his castles, whereas MbL is able to produce out of stables and out of castles to add up a little bit quicker. Another castle coming up at the front to protect these gold piles. That is a lot of gold here, and that is going to be needed later on in the game, just like this gold here. And as we run further and further out of gold, remember, Daut, because he was playing as the Lithuanians, collected these 4 relics, and those 4 relics have been giving him a trickle of gold this entire game. And they will continue after the gold runs out on the rest of the map. This castle comes up just in time as the Winged Hussars run underneath it, and this is tough for him. MbL getting hit on all sides as the latest run forward. There's 2 trebuchets taking out this castle. This is the push that Daut wanted. The Winged Hussars will fall back at home and over at MbL's base. This castle is starting to fall. The bulwark, of course, being focused down on by the trebuchets rather than the castle, which is a little bit of a misclick, and probably wanting to run these trebuchets back underneath the castle fire, because this trebuchet is definitely going to go down to the obuks. Villagers also going to need to run into the castle. Obuks having to run around, and the latest just once again being able to outmaneuver them. And we see even the light cavalry able to get damage done as this army loops around to this side, as this army goes down the middle. Daut doing such a great job strategically to make sure that the enemy doesn't know where his main army is. Little bit of a miss there to run straight through the army. But take a look at the vill counts. Daut now ahead with villagers. I say that as he loses about 10 villagers over here, but MbL's losing the same over on this side. Villagers having to run in and out of town centers. We've got massive battles here, fighting underneath castle fire. Latest everywhere, obuks everywhere. Such a great late Imperial Age game, and it is only getting better because now the risk comes for both of them that resources are running dry. MbL knows how important this gold is. Just this little amount, that's less than 1,000 gold there. There's only about 1,000 gold there. That is all that is left on the map, is just these few gold piles, and they are being lost quickly. So MbL having to push his advantage where possible. Both players are still able to collect gold. Both players are still able to build gold units, but that won't be lasting forever. So the Winged Hussars for MbL are going to be able to continue to be produced very effectively, but these obuks are falling now, and this is a big push. We have a military lead for Daut. We have an economic lead for Daut. The castle is going down from these 2 trebuchets on the eastern side of the map. As this massive engagement starts, these trebuchets that have been around for such a long time now fall to the army of Daut. In the meantime, it is too much. And MbL calls the GG. Daut, fantastic gameplay, just great game sense, never giving up on those attacks, and what a good game.